Hello. Welcome to the third Data Plus TV Tuesdays with me, Andy Cotgreave, data evangelist at Tableau. Today it is Halloween nearly, so we are focusing not just on any old TV exploration, it is all about horror. Horror, how do you say it? I don't know how to say it with a scary voice. Mark, are you there? Welcome to Data Plus TV Tuesday. It's me, everybody. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm sure that was terrifying. Anyway, welcome along. We are going to be exploring Data Plus TV data this week. Of course, it's Halloween, so the theme is horror. We're going to be asking questions, answering questions live. Actually, Mark is going to be answering the questions live. Brilliant to have you here. Mark, you are a Tableau solution engineer, and I'm Viz, Sue Vizzer, and Judge. How are you feeling? You ready for the challenge?
I think it fits the theme. I'm a little bit scared.
A little bit scared.
A little bit nervous. But we're going to see if I still got some chops.
All right, very good. I'm sure there'll be some jump scares. Well, maybe no blood or gore. That's probably not appropriate for these channels. But welcome along to Mark. Thank you for joining us live. Everyone who's watching, let us know where you're joining in from and ask questions in chat too. Before we start, what is the Data Plus TV challenge? Well, it's an amazing thing we've done alongside IMDb. We have worked with them to create a data set of all the IMDb TV data. We also have, I need to share my screen again. Excuse me, I will just share my screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's share the screen. So you can, it's a downloadable data set. Containing everything about TV ever made that IMDb have got. We also have a movies version of this. And you can play around with this data to find your own TV stories, your favorite shows, your least favorite shows, or just some insights you find. If you've never used Tableau before, that's absolutely fine because I wrote a starter workbook which gives you step-by-step instructions right from downloading the data to publishing your first workbook. And what we've had a great time doing, and I'm sure you'll agree, Mark, is seeing all the incredible visualizations people have done with hashtag DataPlusTV. So if you publish something with this hashtag, we'll give you some discount codes and some access to some cool content. And we cannot wait to see what you build. You've been looking at these, Mark?
I have. There have been some really cool stuff, shows that I've forgotten about. And
yeah,
it's just been a real fun to see what people have been coming up with.
Absolutely. So make sure you go check that out. But in the meantime, our goal today is answering questions about horror-based TV from IMDb. But really, I just want you to see how powerful it is to explore data in Tableau in a really ad hoc, rapid, speed of thought way. So, Mark, it's time to share your screen. Let's go. What have we got?
All right. Boo.
Is that Tableau?
It is Tableau.
How did you do that?
Really simple trick. Turn the dashboard orange and found a transparent jack-o'-lantern cutout. And I thought it would be a great start to our session here.
Well, absolutely fantastic. All right. So there you go. Already you can make pumpkin things in Tableau. But I want to start you off. The horror genre of TV may not be, has it been a popular one over time? Is it more popular now? What does the IMDb data tell us?
I don't know. Let's take a look. All right. So let's start with the series start year. This should give us a good indication of what's been going on. And then probably just do a simple count of titles.
All right.
And I'm going to do a simple, I'm on a Windows machine, so I'm going to do a right click and drag. So I get this speed menu here so I can do a distinct count.
Is it speed menu? Is that the official term for that?
I don't know if it's the official. It's what I call it.
But that right click drag is so powerful. It's a real time saver. All right. Oh, check it out. What have we got?
It seems like, and if we're kind of thinking about time, I'm not sure when Netflix changed from the DVD mailing to streaming, but I'm going to guess that the advent and expansion of streaming has really contributed to the rise of not just horror, but probably every genre, but definitely horror.
Is this all IMDb data, or have you filtered it to horror
So this is filtered to just horror.
Oh, right. Wow.
And I'm gonna, this involves anything that had the horror genre, but inside that data set, there's multiple genres included. So our friend David Kelly actually gave me a calculation to use, and I'll just show it real quick since we're educating here.
Yeah.
He gave me this really nice if statement to evaluate the series for the horror genre. Really cool. So I'm just going to drag this in.
Just the way IMDb encodes genre is that because series have multiple genres, it's a slightly complex relationship in the data. I can see you've got one big bar on the left. Is that a lot of horror in 1900?
That is series that have a null start date.
Right.
You know, that might actually be interesting to look at if we want to dive into that a little bit.
Let's do it. Want to dive into it?
Yeah, so I'm going to leave this. I'm going to duplicate this because we might want to come back to that. But I'm just going to keep these. Little right click, keep only.
Looking at nulls is always important because you never know what you're going to find in your data. When you're working with real work data, that null data, it could be really important to work out why something hasn't been encoded. So,
let's see what the titles are here. Let's see if it's anything we recognize. There's about 160 of them. Ooh, let's not do that.
No, I can't read that way.
All right.
You might need to make your font bigger for me for my old eyes.
Come on, Mark. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, but now, I mean, they all sound horrific, but I don't know any of them. Do any of them have lots of votes? That's an indicator of how big a series they are.
It doesn't look like they have any votes.
Right. Interesting. So who knows? They have no votes. So maybe they're not released yet. Maybe they're in production.
That's a good point.
Can we go and look at one via the URL?
Yeah. Let's where is the IMDb URL? There it is.
Somewhere in there.
So if I put that in there and do a little dashboard action here on the tooltip or worksheet action.
That's Mark being most times if you do actions, you do them on dashboards. And so Mark has been trained to forget that you can actually do actions within worksheets as well. They won't work on the dashboard. If you put that worksheet on the dashboard, they don't work. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little flaky at times.
Yeah.
Did I get that right? Series.
But what Mark is doing here is creating an action. So basically, it's a way you can interact with the marks and then jump to the URL. Although I wonder, since these are nulls, is there anything to actually interact with?
That's a great point. But here we can actually just trick it. We'll give it a fake count of 1.
Love it.
Maybe. Actually, wait. Why didn't that work? Oh, all right.
What if you just literally ZN, or how about ZN 0 null, the ZN function? Nulls are fun in release. So David is on the line. David, who did a huge amount of work for the data set, so we're grateful. So nulls are fun in release years. He's done what he can to remove some that are in production, but sometimes the data is just missing. And sometimes it's just because the data is old and they didn't make a data set. So I think perhaps
as I say,
perhaps we'll leave that path and take David's word for it. But I know, Mark, you're going to go and try and solve that problem after this thing, and I know you're not going to let that unsolved.
No.
Okay, so we've got. What about? So we've seen this rise. Has it been any good? Is horror getting better or worse?
Great question. Why don't we look at? And I would never do this normally, but why don't we add the average series rating to the bar size, and let's see what's going on.
So.
I mean, I don't think
you need to do relative sizes, don't you?
Yeah, or I'll just maybe make this a range so I can.
Yeah.
There we go.
So, all right. Okay. This is cool. So we've got height, length is encoding the number of series, the thickness is encoding the average rating, right?
Yeah.
So, well, according to the data, the 50s were way better, and Netflix might have flooded the world with the series, but they weren't as good as the heyday in the 50s and 60s. Is that what I'm seeing?
That's definitely what you're seeing.
Wow.
Let's see if there's any anomalies though. So if we actually add the series title just
Yeah.
to detail,
Right.
we might get one of those cool Jenga charts.
Oh, what? What? Right. Right. Okay. Explain what you've done there. I think this looks amazing.
So again, not best practices, but when you're exploring data, sometimes you can find paths by doing unexpected things. So basically what I've done is I have that average IMDb rating on size. And then to break the bar up, I added the series title. So now we can go over and see, Boogeyman, for example, has a 7.9, but like some of these, bodacious baddies in 2016 doesn't have a rating at all.
So, all right. So let's see if we can limit some of the data and maybe just include series that have over, I don't know, 1,000 votes, because I bet a lot of these have 1 or 2 votes.
So let's just give David another shout out, because he actually added a couple of calculations to limit unpopular episode, like, not rated a lot, or number of votes thresholds. So, all right. So now we're getting down to business. So these are, I think it's 1,000 votes.
And is it possible to make your whole workbook font a bit larger, Mark? Because it's a little bit small on the screen.
Yeah, so sorry. So I can do some global formatting here.
Yeah.
Let's make the whole thing just bigger. How's that?
Not bad at all. Yeah, it's just looking a little blurry on the live stream, but we will persevere. Okay, so these are highly respected. So these are well voted series, and now
it kind of makes sense if if we're looking at the average rating, because they've been rated a lot. Obviously, people took the time to go and heap praise on these episodes or on the series, so it kind of makes sense to see a lot more thicker bars in this case.
Now I'm gonna accuse you, but we're in exploration phase, so you are fine. You have made a data viz crime. If you were to publish this, what is the time-based visual crime you've made?
I was going to say, I did not use a continuous date, so these dates kind of jump around a bit.
And that's why I wouldn't change it, because right now it'll start making things jump out. Yeah. But what are the big series from the before the 80s then? What are these classic ones?
Tales from the Crypt. I remember watching that on HBO as a kid. That scared me.
Yeah.
Don't know that one.
Don't know that one.
Hammer
House of Horror.
Do you remember that one?
Well, that was big. That was a British series.
Okay.
So yeah, absolutely terrifying to my year.
And this I can happily say was before I was born, so I don't remember any of these.
Twilight Zone. Hang on, right? Oh, the Outer Limits as well.
Yeah.
So, all right, can we narrow it? So, I think it's worth emphasizing what you said there. This is probably not a chart you would publish.
No,
but it's a chart that is giving someone insight in the exploration phase. So it's really important to remember that bad charts are great charts at this phase. So can we look at some of these, compare the classics to some of these modern ones, and maybe look at longevity, or do you want to look at some of the modern ones and see which are winners in the modern days?
Let's look at longevity.
Right. Okay.
All right. All right. So I need to do, so like if I'm thinking about longevity, like how do we visualize time? If I'm thinking about television shows, it's about duration, right? Mm-hmm. So let's do a quick calculation. And granted, I don't have actual dates. I just have like years for start and end. So if I just do some simple math between the the end date and the start date.
And believe me, this is the hardest bit of doing this live, is writing calculations live.
All right. So let's add that threshold on again, because I kind of like the limited view there. And we'll put on our start year again. But this time, I think we will make it continuous.
Yeah.
And we can see some gaps in the horror genre, which is interesting.
Oh, yeah.
But so now we'll drop the series title on. And hopefully, if I've done it right. Yeah.
Mark, could you just do that's a, can you just do 2 undos?
I sure
Undo
can.
twice. Right. Drop series ID again.
All right. Series title.
Yeah. Right. Do you not put it on the row shelf? You put it in the little drop zone on the canvas. Is that what you always do?
No, not always.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Oh, again, the power of Tableau is so much is implemented so you can explore the data in many different ways. You can drag straight onto the row shelf, you can double click, or you can put it into the little drop zone as Mark did that.
So there was a point in time where solutions engineers were taught that you could actually build an entire viz without touching the marks card, the rows, or column shelves. Like you did everything on the canvas. So
yeah,
I think I'm channeling some of my old school solution engineer buddies.
OG. Right. Okay. Now carry on.
All right. So I'm going to drop the duration on size here. All right.
Let's see. So we saw where, there you go. Oh, juicy. Curb Your Enthusiasm. What?
Trailer Park Boy. Wait a minute. Hang on.
Wait a minute. Is that horror film?
Unless they have like Halloween episodes, maybe that must be what it is. Oh wait, now that I've put is it truly horror? We've got a bit of a different list.
Right. Okay. So that's good. Now, the Twilight Zone didn't run. Supernatural never. God, I don't know many of these. Supernatural really only run for 5 years. Maybe it did. Sorry, the Twilight Zone.
Oh, David says holidays are the holiday special are included. So like the Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors is probably in here somewhere.
Oh, that's fair enough. Oh no, the Twilight Zone did only have 5 seasons. God, what a profound
like
TV. Yeah.
I know they relaunched it at one point. So yeah, there is another stint of it in 2019, but yeah.
Right. Okay. So I want us to color these by their series rating. Let's see. There's obviously some duff ones.
Yeah. Well, here, let's do this. If we filter the rating, let's just get anything that's above 5,
maybe even 6.
6. Yeah.
This is a relative filter Mark is using. All right. Okay. Okay. So now we're seeing something a bit more. Explain what you're doing here, Mark.
I was just going to see if I could, if I do a stepped color, then everything's going to have its own unique rather than the blend. It might just be a little bit easier to see. So
now click on Twilight Zone. There's something really interesting there. A little bit down a bit.
Oh,
look
yeah.
They didn't like that second season or that second run.
It's just it's a lesson to never mess with a classic.
Yeah, indeed. All right. Okay. So is this sorted by longevity? So Supernatural is the longest running horror film.
I don't know if it's
above the threshold we've set.
I'm sorry?
Above the threshold we've set, right? So
yeah.
Right. What about Buffy? Should it be in there?
Should be. That's Vampire Diaries. Let me just filter down to it real quick.
All right.
Let's see, how long did Buffy run? Oh.
It'll be excluded because of one of the other filters, right?
Probably. Let's just remove some stuff and see. Interesting. So with that horror, is it truly horror? It got filtered out.
I mean, it was kooky and cute, which isn't really my definition of horror, but
right. But it it was vampires, so it was kind of spooky. And
sorry, I'm a horror nerd. Sorry,
right? And like, I mean, obviously, you can't make the argument for Curb Your Enthusiasm, but X-Files, you could absolutely make that argument.
Yeah. Okay, so all right, so okay, well let's just stick with is it horror? And sorry, Buffy, you're out.
Yeah, you've been voted off the island.
Yeah,
to make another television reference.
All right, brilliant. Right, what should we look at? I want to see some progression of some of these series over, through the seasons.
Okay. Let's
try this. Yeah, are you a fan of The Walking Dead? Or what were you going to try?
So I was actually going to put the episode title on and maybe see if I can make like a Gantt dot plot. I've never actually done this. So.
All right, here we go. We are going down the crazy path of the unknown. So now instead of one bar for the Gantt chart, Mark is trying to break each bar into a circle or dot for every episode. And is that multiple? Is each dot multiple dots?
Yeah, I think the way that I think I might have to change the this. Let's do this. You're watching me.
We got a little circle. I'm going to while Mark is working this out. Don't forget, this is the IMDb DataPlusTV data set, and if you wish to download this, he's done it. If you wish to download this data set and play with this data yourself, please do, because it is amazing seeing what you all build with this. And ask some questions in comments as well. We can explore the questions you ask us. Right. Wow, Mark, you're off. What? Right. I took my eyes away for 30 seconds. And what have you built?
All right. So I got my dot plot, but I didn't like the way that it looked. So I actually added a little undocumented function, the random function, to give myself a bit of a jitter.
Nice.
But I realized that I've got the series rating on here, not the episode rating. So make a quick change.
So is the jitter on vertical?
Yeah, it's on the Y.
So what's the horizontal spread? Is the horizontal to do with release time?
Yeah, it's the episode release date.
Oh, so if you put
right.
It's
important to note that episode release date is actually defaulted to the first of a month, which is why you're seeing multiple ones kind of stacked up.
Right.
So
there's a level we can go. Right.
Wait, hang on. Let me make one mod here. There we go. A little bit clearer.
What did you do there?
So instead of in the titles, you'll have the release year, but you also have the release month and year.
Okay. Nice. Right. So what? Well, now what's this telling us? Now you've done that, are we learning anything from this?
I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. Like, so Are You Afraid of the Dark? It looked like it started off strong, but it's a little bit, lighter color towards the end of the series, which explains why the series probably ended. The same pattern here on Fear of the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it actually tells us anything, but it's an interesting look, I guess.
Yeah. Can we dive into The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
My wife watched the whole thing, and just show me series quality over time.
Oh, series quality over time.
So basically season number, episode number.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Let me know in the comments if you're a Walking Dead fan, super fan, non-fan, or thought it should have stayed in graphic novel format only. Personally, I loved the first 2 seasons, and then it just felt very arbitrarily a human drama with some zombies in it every 20 minutes to keep people like me watching.
All right, so this actually might not be the best way to look at this. Give me one moment here. Let's do it this way.
All right. Yeah. Oh, what was the next? Right. Here is a visualizing data storytelling question. Should that y-axis, start at 0 or not?
So It depends.
Actually, hang on, Mark. Go back to just explain what's on screen first, and then
Okay. So on the y-axis, I've got the title rating, so each episode rating, and then on the x-axis, we've got the season number, episode number.
Can you put season number on color as well, and then we can see that the difference a bit clearer.
Oh yeah. Here, let me explain what I'm doing here.
Right.
With the Windows, you can actually hit Control and just drag, and it basically will duplicate the pill.
Yeah. Oh. That's my fault. Make it discreet. Yeah.
Wait. It's discrete. It's just it picked up a weird color palette.
That's my fault when I defined the data set in the start of the book. Blame Cotgreave, not Kelly.
No, not enough colors. I got too many color palettes, as you can see.
Just use Tableau default. It's fine. It's just to distinguish colors. That's fine.
Breaks my heart.
I know. And then entire view.
Woo.
All right. Okay. Carry on. So we have season color, season, an episode.
Yeah.
And then the y-axis represents the episode rating for that episode.
What happened there?
It really jumped the shark. Right. Okay. But what should the y-axis be at 0 or?
Oh, okay. So with things that would probably never reach 0, it's probably acceptable as long as you annotate it to say as such, just for transparency's sake. So if we just say don't include 0, it's just going to exaggerate the bar differences a bit. This low one, it definitely gets pushed to its limits.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you got to make a judgment call. If you do exclude it, just make sure you annotate it. Make sure that you're very transparent with what you're doing. Yeah,
if you make them, if a bar and a truncated axis, so that's a bit of a crime. If you truncate the axis, you should be using a line or a circle. With this many dots, it's a bit harder to see the circles.
Yeah.
But my answer to that is: are you interested in sharing the insight about the relative difference between the points or the absolute distance from 0? And everybody watching this, when you are building charts, that is your choice as a curator of any visualization to make. But yeah, so you can see season 7, season 8, and season 10 were just dire.
Just not great. Dragging over an average line, you can see that those are really the anomalies. Although over time, it just kind of looks like it lost steam.
Yeah. First few seasons were amazing. And as Kitra Smith said in the comments, it was a cultural phenomenon in its prime. It even does. It's absolutely true, Kitra. I mean, I loved those first few seasons. It was amazing. All right, what next, Mark? Should we look at age ratings? Have horror shows gotten more graphic and more? Have they gone from U to rated R?
Let's give it a look. Do you want to look at this by year?
Yeah.
Okay. Oops.
And I think this is useful because it's obviously we looked at series title, votings and reviews, but this data set contains actors, awards, and ratings as well, and loads of different things.
So I think we'll just stick with US ratings.
Fine.
Okay. I'm going to add that on color, and then let's just do a series count again. Bar.
Right. Ooh, nice. I like me a nice stacked bar.
No, I think
they have their flaws, but
they do.
They tell you something. All right. I don't know my US rating, so you're going to have to help this British.
So okay. So anything. Let's see. TVMA is mature. TV 14 is like PG 13 for movies. So I mean, if we said, these are probably the ones that if I had a younger child, I'd definitely question and want to preview. The rest of it probably okay. The not rated ones I might have fear of, but there isn't a whole lot of those.
They're
So
all from the 90s. Why? That's interesting. Right. What's the red one? So there was so that's it. In the 90s, there was a whole spate of, there was clearly some trend of something strange going on with ratings in the 90s. So there was a burst of show. Are we looking at all TV here or just horror?
I think this is, well, here, we'll add our is it horror filter just to make sure. Yeah, it doesn't change it a whole lot.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, there's definitely.
Let's focus more recently then. Let's maybe focus on, is the mature audience bracket increase? It is increasing, isn't it?
Oh yeah, but you've got to take into account all of the streaming services and all the new cable channels. Definitely add to the goriness and graphic content that you can put out. So
yeah. Okay, so does maturity equal quality?
Okay. All right, let's make my Jenga chart again.
Which is great. I could just this is like asking an AI but seeing what's happening underneath. Mark's like, ugh. That's what happens with OpenAI. It quietly goes, what the hell's this guy asking?
Okay.
Right. What have you done here? Oh, we've gone Jenga.
Yeah. I went extreme Jenga. Let's just focus on kind of the big bump here.
You've done a brutal way of keep only there.
Yeah. That's not a performance enhancing move.
Just to explain what we did there, basically Mark grabbed, I don't know, about 1,600 marks and said keep only. So now Tableau is behind the scenes is writing a query specifically to keep only those.
Yeah, let me rethink that.
That's not the kind of thing a solution engineer would recommend. Maybe if he said keep data since 2000, that would be a more performant way of building things.
Let's say 2015. Okay.
I'm getting from my production team, they're telling me TV parental guidelines were established in 1996 as part of the Telecommunications Act. And they are modeled after movie ratings and designed to help parents understand TV. There you go. So that's the little bump we could see that was happening in the 90s.
I'm going to filter this down because I think there's a lot of noise here.
Yeah, that middle bar looks like Marge Simpson as a stick.
Let's see if this gets me a little bit more clear. Not really.
We've just got a lot of shows vertically, haven't we?
Yeah, let's actually maybe we just focus on the really mature ones.
Yeah.
And even that gives us
we've got too much data.
Yeah, there's just too much.
And if you're doing this on your own laptop, you could keep this data, but I think we need a way to reduce the amount of data we're looking at here. Are we looking at all votes?
No, we've got a minimum threshold, but here, let's see if we can edit that parameter.
Yeah.
I'll show the parameter instead of editing it here. So we're at 10,000 votes. Let's say 20.
10,000 is quite a lot of votes looking at this data set. All right, there's still a lot. How many marks are on the screen? I can't see the bottom left.
885.
Oh, okay. So
at 50,000 votes, we've got 575, but we can see, I mean, most of them rate pretty high.
Yeah. Is that cause and effect? Is gore inherently appealing? I mean, it's not just there's more going on than gore in mature rated TV series, but we probably shouldn't be.
I think no, okay, never mind. I was fine the first time. Yeah, I don't know.
I've not heard of any of these.
Yeah.
Is there a way to get them down to ones you and I might have heard of? And then I think we'll answer this question and begin to wrap up. So if you've got any more questions, type them now because we're going to wrap up in maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
We'll filter this. We'll see if we can get the 6 and up.
Oh yeah. Oh right. Oh yeah. There's all the rubbish shows here.
Yeah.
But there's still what?
Wow.
Maybe I just need to go and watch more horror TV.
Maybe. Well, see, this is given. I'm so confused. Hang on, because I keep wanting. I want the series title to break it down. There we go.
Oh, were you doing episode title?
I think I had the episode title. So,
right. Okay. All right.
Hang on. Oh,
there you go. So we've got one series which is ruining it for everyone. What was that?
Velma.
Velma.
Here, let's back this back down.
Velma, was that not Scooby-Doo?
I don't know. But there's some dogs here. Resident Evil, interesting. Apparently,
Velma was literally based on Velma from Scooby-Doo. It was an adult animated comedy mystery series. It lasted one season. And you can understand why, because it's the thinnest bar on the screen.
Yeah.
So Velma wasn't good. Right, what are you trying to do, Mark?
Now that I changed out the episode title for the series title, I figured that we can actually see all of the years now, but I changed it to discrete so that the bars aren't overlapping. Because of the Jenga nature of things.
Yeah. So I feel like we need to exclude Jenga because it's ruining the view for everybody. So just see the Vanguard mark from 2023.
Wait, which one? Oh,
just exclude that.
Exclude. Bye.
Right? And again, this is an exploration. This is valid in exploration, right? You wouldn't publish it. Now we can sort of see some of the other things. Zifa says, no, Velma got cancelled too soon. Zifa, hi Zifa, you must have been one of the few fans of it. So what are the best mature shows we should all go and watch on Halloween night?
Well, as I say, it'll be dependent on where you can stream them. Some of these I've never heard of, like JoJo no Kimyo.
No, we've got TV from right around the world, so not all of these are.
Yeah. Disenchantment. That's a 7.3. Castlevania. Well, you know what? If we're looking for recommendations, maybe
come on, let's do it. Let's reduce it right down and finish with the series we need to go and watch.
All right, so let's go 8 or above. 8 or above. What are we watching Halloween night? Here we go. Okay.
Yeah. So give me something from 2020 to The Last of Us.
Last of Us, great series. It's one of the few that I did watch.
Yeah.
What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, very good.
The Owl House.
That's
a kids show. So if you've got kids.
I thought we were looking at Stranger Things. Yes, well, that's a classic, isn't it?
Yep.
Primal.
Amazing. Legacy.
All right. Don't know that.
Don't know.
We've got series that appear multiple times. Wynonna Earp. Amazing.
Wynonna Earp. I remember during Iron Viz, Jessica Moon talking about Wynonna Earp.
But you don't know what the show was, but I do. But good for Jessica talked about loads of cool stuff. Right, Mark. I think go ahead.
And speaking of Iron Viz, there's like 2 days left to get your entries in.
Hey, stop stealing my end of show thunder, Mark Bradbourne. I'm about to say that. So on that little foreshadowing bombshell, we've got some series to watch on Halloween. If you're going to watch some horror TV, DataPlusTV data set is something you can do to find it. Yes, there are 2 days left of the Iron Viz feeder. The theme this year is entertainment. So we have a movie data set, we have a TV data set if you wish to enter. And honestly, just enter, because by taking part, you're learning about data literacy, you're learning about Tableau. You might get a chance to be on stage with me and Mark and the rest of the team in May next year. So that's Iron Viz. But for now, Mark, how did that feel?
That was a lot of fun. I don't get to do that a whole lot. So it was a good time.
Yeah, that was a good time. Excellent. And now Mark is going to go off and try and finish that chart I stopped him building, the one that is just niggling him like all geeks. He will continue with that.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm enjoying the conversation that I'm seeing in the comments. But to everybody watching, look, thank you so much for joining in. Tableau, I fell in love with Tableau 17 years ago because it enables you to explore data at the speed of thought. You can chase insights, you can shift perspectives and feel your way to the right articulation of the data. Hopefully that's what you've seen today. Hopefully you've had some fun. And the last thing will be have a fantastic Halloween, and we will see you again soon. Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Coming up next on the Tableau Network.
Wish we had a DataPlusTV series? Oh, well, too bad we don't, but we do have the DataPlusTV challenge. Just download my easy-to-follow starter guide and make a viz using TV data from IMDb. And you'll get this exclusive DataFan Discovery Kit. So tune in.